Yo, what's the word, YouTube? How you doing? Hey to the world, man. I'm coming here today for divisional round analysis. Most definitely gonna do that right here, right now. Yeah, we got a big divisional round weekend, y'all. We got the Bengals and the Titans. We got the Chiefs and the Bills and the AFC. And then the NFC, we got the Packers versus the Niners. And we got the Bucks and the Rams. I did the Bucks and the Rams the other day. I told you guys I was gonna do the rest of the divisional rounds the next coming days. And yeah, we're gonna get started today, man. So we're gonna get started right now with the first game of the weekend, the Bengals and the Titans, man. And with this one, we got some big news. Some big news. That boy Derrick Henry might be coming back. Well, I think he's coming back because when it's more than likely that you're coming back, you have a high possibility of coming back in a game of this magnitude. The players most likely, the superstar players most likely is going to come back. So Derrick Henry, I can't see him missing this game, man. This is a big time game to determine if they get to the AFC Championship again or not. This will be their second trip in 3 years to the AFC Championship game if they're able to beat the Bengals in this one. But it's not going to be easy. So we're going to start right now with how the return of Derrick Henry might impact this game. And for me, I think he'll probably be on more of a pitch count just because basically the Titans already still have a great running game with Deontay Foreman and Hilliard. And the O-line is playing very well right now. And right now, I just think Henry, I don't know how significant his injury really was. It was a season ender, for real, for real. And I don't know I don't know how fast he has recovered. But if it's anything like Cam Akers just did in LA for the Rams, then I believe Derrick Henry should be fine, if not better. And yeah, man, I think his presence will instill a fear in the Bengals more than anything. I mean, he was on pace to most definitely break the single season rushing record this year. He had 937 yards in like week 8. And it was crazy. And he stood in the top 5, top 3 of rushing leaders until like almost week 14 almost and like week 15. It took a long time for people to for running backs to start catching up with Derrick Henry and dethrone him of the league's leading rusher. It took Jonathan Taylor a little while to dethrone Derrick Henry for the league's leading rusher. And so yeah, just knowing that Derrick Henry, that guy, that brute force is coming back for the Bengals, a Bengals team that's not really very stout against the run. And the Bengals really they can't really stop the run that much. I mean, Josh Jacobs was kind of getting it in last week, but just because the Raiders were down in that game and the vibe of that game, you kind of knew the Raiders wasn't going to stick to the run. But the Titans, they're going to stick to the run. You're down by 20, they're still going to stick to the run. So the Bengals, you have to know that run game is coming at you. And those linebackers, you have to be ready, man. And are you really ready for a Derrick Henry and Deontay Foreman duo? And with the way that O-line is playing right now, the line of scrimmage may be won by the Tennessee Titans. So we have to keep that in mind. And if the line of scrimmage is won by the Tennessee Titans, then Derrick Henry's going to do his thing. Because nobody in that secondary of the Bengals can really bring him down like that. I mean, Jesse Bates is a hard hitter. He can hit hard. But Derrick Henry's a different type of guy when it comes to trying to hit stick somebody like his Madden. No, you're not going to really do that to Derrick Henry. You're most likely going to bounce off of him more than likely. And yeah, so I think Derrick Henry's presence is just going to instill more of a fear in this game than anything. Just the simple fact that, oh, I'm back, man. And I feel like Derrick Henry's going to come back with a vengeance. And he's going to have a big game in this one if he's able to really go like that and Mike Vrabel doesn't keep him on the pitch count. Because like I said, man, that O-line has been playing very well with the pass. Since Derrick Henry's been out, the O-line has just stepped up more and provided the backup running backs more of like open gaps, I would say. And you just see that the Tennessee running game is still flourishing. That's credit to Mike Vrabel, the offensive line coach over there in Tennessee, because to open up these guys for these running backs, man, it's been very crucial, and it's gotten them that 1 seed in the AFC. And yeah, man, so I just don't foresee Derrick Henry being stopped in this game, and he will instill a fear in that. I wouldn't say that front four of the Bengals, because the Bengals front four, that defensive line is very good. The linebackers in the secondary, though, like I said, you have your work cut out. You most definitely have your work cut out. So just stay disciplined, stay calm, because he's coming. I mean, if you're scared, he's still coming. If you're not scared, he's still coming. So just don't be scared. And I mean, because he's going to instill a fear. So you just can't be scared, and you have to go in this game. If I'm a Bengals fan or if I'm a Bengals player, you just have to go in this game and just, hey, we trying to get to the AFC Championship too, G. So you just got to come in with that umph. I'm like, oh, we finna get this. So yeah, knowing that, we gonna move on because the Tennessee secondary also has their work cut out. Because Joey B, man, what you call him, Joey Burr? I don't even know how to say it for real. But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase could get busy against this Tennessee secondary though, man. Tennessee hasn't been really very good against the pass like that, but their pass rush is very good though. That's the thing. But their secondary can be had. Debo Samuel, I remember I was watching that game vividly. Debo Samuel was getting off. The Texans was kind of getting off in the last game that the Tennessee Titans played. When the Texans almost cost the Tennessee Titans the 1 seed. I mean, the Texans was kind of coming back. And but the Tennessee Titans have really struggled against the pass this year when it comes to a secondary point of view. But if the Bengals average 8.7 yards per pass with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has a touchdown to interception ratio of 36-14. I just can't see whoever is in that secondary. I mean, Kevin Byard, of course, is going to do his thing. I've been a Kevin Byard fan since, I would say, 2018 now. Kevin Byard is going to do his thing regardless. But the rest of the secondary, I don't see them stopping Jamar Chase, Boyd. Higgins might get busy. Mixon might get busy out the backfield, and the linebacker being able to cover him. I mean, the Titans have some good. The Titans have some good linebackers. I like the Titans linebackers, but Mixon is a tough task. And the way this Bengals passing game is played, they come out from a 5 wide. Like they came out last week in 5 wide, and you really don't see that too much in the playoffs. And for Zach Taylor to have that confidence in Joe Burrow to go down the field diabolically and dot up the Raiders, you don't think he'll have that same confidence in Joe Burrow this upcoming week against the Titans? I think he will. I think they come out most definitely dotting up the Tennessee Titans because I don't see the Tennessee Titans stopping this passing game with Joe Burrow and these guys. I mean, they give up 245 yards a game passing, which isn't bad. But I feel like a bunch of that comes from the Tennessee's pass rush that's getting there. And the way Joe Burrow gets that ball out, he makes quick reads. So whoever's open, hey, that's what I'm saying for this Tennessee secondary. Fulton, Burrow and Chase might have 200 yards together, man. Hey, just straight up. Chase might have another 200-yard game. Just to whoever's covering him. I don't see nobody in that Tennessee secondary stopping Jamar Chase. And but on third down, Tennessee is very good at getting teams off the field on third down. So if it's like a 3rd and 7 and that pass rush is coming, yeah, it's gonna be tough for the Bengals. I'm not gonna lie to you because the Titans actually thrive on that down. But with the Bengals, though, they actually go for it on 4th down. And the Bengals have a high conversion rate on 4th down. So I'll trust them in those critical downs. If you get it to like a 4th and short, I'll trust the Bengals in those critical downs. But yeah, it's going to come down, like I say, to, of course, again, the line of scrimmage. I say this in all my videos. The line of scrimmage, the game is won at the line of scrimmage. It's always been won at the line of scrimmage since the beginning of time. And nothing has changed. So if Jeffrey Simmons and them boys can get back there on Joe Burrow, it's going to be a tough sledding for Joe Burrow and them boys too. But on 4th down, I will trust the Bengals on those downs, and that's going to be a big down here on was that Saturday or Sunday they play? I believe they play on Saturday. They played the first game on Saturday. I'm sorry, but that's going to be crucial though. Them 3rd and 4th downs going to be crucial, and so Joe Burrow on that secondary though, that's going to be the matchup. Joe Burrow on that secondary, because Zach Taylor might come out in 5 wide again this week. So we have to stay attentive to that. You know what I'm saying? Stay attentive to that. Because the impact of this Tennessee pass rush, I felt it when we started our losing streak. In November, it was a big Sunday night game, and Tennessee just came down there and won the line of scrimmage. Jeffrey Simmons and them boys put a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford. From an interior point of view, I mean, the interior, the guards, and the center could not stop Jeffrey Simmons and them guys. And it caused havoc, and it forced a lot of turnovers in that game against the Los Angeles Rams. And that's what I fear with this Bengals O line. I mean, how strong is the guards and the center to go against Jeffrey Simmons and the rest of the D line? Harold Landry is going to be coming at you too on the edge. So, how strong is this Bengals O line to contain Jeffrey Simmons all game and the rest of the Tennessee pass rush? Just take heed to those signs, and yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for that line of scrimmage over there in Cincinnati. Though Joe Burrow, though, even though the Titans don't allow too much rushing yards a game, the Titans don't really give up running. They don't allow you to run the football. But Joe Burrow, if that pass was just getting to you so much, you still will have to establish a run game with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is one of the best running backs in all of the NFL when it comes to receiving the ball at the backfield or whether he's carrying the ball at the backfield. It doesn't matter. Joe Mixon is one of the best in the league doing it right now. So I say give Joe Mixon at least 15 to 25 touches running the ball. Like, you have to run the ball and establish that against this Titans team. Because if not, Vrabel's going to come at you in all different kinds of ways, rushing the passer. So run the ball with Joe Mixon. You have one of the best runners in the league. Give him the rock. Give him the rock out the backfield, too, when it comes to passing on the ball at the backfield. Put him out there in those 5-wide formations like Zach Taylor will sometimes do, and you'll be successful. Just show them that's a threat of Joe Mixon, of this being a Joe Mixon day. If it's a Joe Mixon day, I have a lot of confidence in the Bengals. Because if you can't stop Joe Mixon, the rest of the offense will fall into place, and you won't be able to stop Joe Burrow when he's throwing it to Jamar Chase, or whether he's getting Boyd involved or Uzama involved. I didn't even mention Uzama at first, but that's crazy. But getting Uzama involved, if you get all those guys involved, and it's starting with Joe Mixon, I have a lot of confidence in the Bengals coming out here and winning this football game. But like I say, if the defense can make a critical stop, if the Tennessee can make a critical stop on one of those fourth downs that the Bengals try to go for, the whole game can be changed, because the Tennessee Titans can, one fourth down stop, even early in the game, can change the course of the game. Because Tennessee can take an 8 to 9 minute drive and put up six, or even get a field goal, but just take an 8 to 9 minutes off the clock with the way that Tennessee runs the football, and then they're able to complement it with the play action game with Tannehill, because Tannehill is probably a top 3, top 5 play action quarterback in the league, most definitely. Tennessee thrives off play action, so if they are able to have 8 to 9 minute drives, Tennessee is, that's based off a stop that they get on fourth down because Zach Taylor wants to be aggressive. It's going to be... I can see Tennessee taking this ball game. Because, you know what I'm saying? It's just which defense will make a critical stop. Will the Bengals force a fumble? Or will the Bengals actually get a pick based off on a Ryan Tannehill passes? Ryan Tannehill can be iffy at times, but it's just which defense will make the critical stop for their offense to take full control of the football game. And honestly, I don't know which defense to trust more at this moment, because the Bengals didn't play bad on defense last week. Even though the Raiders had a lot of bad calls. There was a lot of holding calls in that game. It's the reason why that officiating crew isn't doing any more playoff games the rest of this postseason. And but the defense played well. The defense came up with an interception to end off the ball game. So you can't say the Bengals don't have at least a decent defense, especially with Trey Hendrickson coming at you and Hubbard coming at you. So it's gonna be a tough one. I just want to see which defense will make that critical stop, and will Tannehill be able to duel with Joe Burrow? I would say no at this moment, and it's a firm no. He's not gonna be able to duel with Joe Burrow, so he's gonna have to do a lot of play action things. And if Tannehill proves me wrong, no, I stand corrected. But I just don't see this game come down to a duel. And if it does, it won't turn out good for the Tennessee Titans. And Vrabel knows that, and the team knows that. So I don't believe Vrabel will let it get to that point. But it's not to say that Tannehill's a bad quarterback, because I like Tannehill a lot. But I'm saying if you're trying to duel against a high hand and Joe Burrow and the way he has been playing, it's not going to work out. This man is coming off duels with Mahomes. He's coming off games when he put up 40 points against division opponents. I mean, Joe Burrow has been doing this all year long. So to know that,
I don't see Tannehill even having a chance when it comes to a duel with Joe Burrow. But so don't let it get to that point, Vrabel. Don't let it get to that point where you're losing in the ball game and you know your rate game's not working or something like that. And it gets to a duel because Joe Burrow is going to absolutely light you up. And Tannehill, he might light you up too. Tannehill might even run it in. But it's just like when it comes down to the passing game, I don't see Ryan Tannehill on the level of Joe Burrow right now. No disrespect to Ryan Tannehill. But when it comes down to it, with Zach Taylor's scheme coming out in 5 wide at the beginning of the game, coming out mostly in 5 wide for the most of the game, will his scheme be able to beat Vrabel? A Vrabel who's came from a Belichick system, a Vrabel who thrives in ball games like this, a Vrabel who knows how to get after the passer, a Vrabel who knows how to inspire his team, his line of scrimmage most definitely, and get after the quarterback. And Zach Taylor, you have this is your biggest test that you ever had in your whole career. Obviously, the tests get bigger each week as you progress throughout the postseason. So this is your biggest test against one of the best coaches in all of the NFL. Not a top 5. He's the top 5 coach. Mike Vrabel's the top 5 coach. So if Zach Taylor's able to come out and scheme, his scheme works against a Mike Vrabel-led defense and team, Zach Taylor's most definitely a top 10 coach. Most definitely a top 10 coach. Most definitely. Hey, shout out Sean. Hey, shout out Zach Taylor, man. Sean come from he's from the round tree, man, for the Sean McVay tree. You know what I'm saying? One of our former offensive gurus on our team. Shout out Zach Taylor. So I'm rooting for him in this ball game, but I'm also rooting for Vrabel because I'm a big Mike Vrabel fan. So but who comes down? What it comes down to and who wins this game? Like I say, the line of scrimmage. If Tennessee is able to rush the passer well, they're able to run the football effectively, and they're able to complement that with a play action game, Tennessee has that. Tennessee wins the ball game. If they stick to their philosophies and it works out effectively, Tennessee wins the ball game. But for the Bengals, they're able to come on 5 wide all day and dot you up diabolically. If Joe Mixon's able to get involved, and Trey Hendrickson and the rest of the pass rush is able to get at you, I have the Bengals winning this ball game. So who do I actually have winning this game? Me personally, I'm going to have to go with, it's a tough one. I ain't going to lie. The Bengals, it's a tough one. This is a tough one. I don't know who to pick right now. I'm going to have to say, I might have to go with the Bengals, man. You know what? I'm going to go with the Titans. I'm going to go with the Titans in this ball game. Just based off the fact that their philosophy of playoff football and the way they play football, I'm leaning more towards the way they play football than the way Zach Taylor has been playing football. So I'm going to lean Titans. I'm going to lean Titans in a close one, though. I'm going to lean Titans 31-28. 31-28. It might come down to a field goal. 31-28 Titans. I got the Titans in this one, though. So all you got to do is embrace the game.